Two brothers spent more than a decade behind bars for a crime that should have carried only 5 years. Governor Tate Reeves stepped in, granting the twins clemency. Tonight, they are home. 3 on your side's Adarius McCormick speaks exclusively with their sister. She's grateful they're free, but says this fight is far from over for other families. Adarius.
After 11 years away from his family, Marcus Taylor came home December 10th. Just 3 weeks later, his twin brother Maurice felt that same freedom walking out on New Year's Eve.
They didn't talk much. I'm just going to be honest. They grabbed us all. They were picking us up, hugging us.
Marcus and Maurice embraced their loved ones, their mother, sisters, and children. For more than a decade, they had only seen them through visits and phone calls, time stolen by an illegal sentence. The twins were charged with conspiracy to sell a Schedule III controlled substance, a crime that carries a maximum sentence of 5 years. Instead, they were sentenced to 20. They served 11 before Governor Tate Reeves granted them clemency. Their sister, Linda Myers, says she's overjoyed her brothers are home, but the damage has already been done.
When the system gets it wrong, this is what happens. Families suffer, families are shattered.
The first stop Marcus and Maurice made was to see their mother. While they were incarcerated, she was diagnosed with dementia. When they came home, she didn't even recognize them.
My mother was diagnosed with dementia while they were incarcerated a few years ago. And when they came home, she did not recognize them. That also proved how much time had been lost.
When Marcus was released, the family celebrated, but the separation took a toll on Maurice.
You know, everybody knows twins are connected, and they have that bond. And once Marcus was released, yes, it put Maurice lost weight, and it was hard on him.
The Mississippi Impact Coalition submitted documentation and requests for review to the Attorney General's office, the Court of Appeals, and the Solicitor General. That fight for justice brought both brothers home.
If you become silent, you never get justice.
Tonight, the twins are spending time with loved ones and already going on job interviews as they work to rebuild their lives. Their sister says their freedom matters, but she hopes their story sparks change for other families still waiting. Adarius McCormick, 3 on your side.